Congratulations to the Minnesota Frost for winning back-to-back Walter Cups. Despite the loss, I think the Ottawa Charge should still be very proud of themselves for making it this far. How many people do you think had them beating the Victoire in round 1? I didn't. Going into the playoffs, I did say that the Victoire were going to win the cup, but Ottawa was going to give them a run for their money. But I definitely didn't think that Ottawa was going to beat them in Game 4. And did anyone else think that the finals matchup was going to be 3 versus 4 again with Minnesota winning the championship? If you're saying that you did, I don't know if I believe you. And even though the Minnesota Frost did take the series in 4 games, this was not by any means an easy win for them. The story of this series was definitely the awesome play by both goalies, especially that of Gwyneth Phillips. I had suggested that even if the Ottawa Charge didn't win the Walter Cup, that she could still win playoff MVP based on her play. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Just look at what she accomplished in the playoffs. Only 13 goals allowed in 8 games with a 1.23 goals against average and 952 save percentage. And every game that she lost was in overtime. And look, she only allowed more than 2 goals a game once, and that game was the quadruple overtime game in Game 2 of Round 1. To be honest, I do feel quite bad for her because Minnesota is definitely the better team in that series, at least in the last 2 games for sure. And she was working her tail off to keep them in it and give her team a chance. Like, she only allowed 7 goals in that series across 4 games, but at the same time, her team only scored 5. Keep in mind that in Game 2 of the finals, Ottawa did score late to give themselves a 1-0 lead, and were only 16 seconds away from winning Game 2 and getting a 2-0 series lead. That is, until Britta Curl tied it at the end. And then she also scored the overtime winning goal that game. Can you imagine how different the series could have been had Ottawa won that game? Help with a solid goaltending over on the other side from the Minnesota Frost by the name of Maddie Rooney. She didn't play in the first game of the series, which they lost. However, she did come in after that and just completely shut the door on Ottawa. Only allowing 1 goal in every game that she played in that series, you better watch out because I think that Vancouver and Seattle are going to be trying to woo her away from you guys. I can't forget about the play of Lee Steckline as well. Earlier on, I was thinking, oh yeah, she's washed, she might be exposed to expansion. But then towards the end of the season and in the playoffs, she just all of a sudden came alive. She showed how she's still one of the best shutdown defenders in the league, and offensively as well. After scoring no goals in the first 28 games of the season, she scored 3 in the last 2, and then another 4 in the playoffs. If you're Minnesota, who do you protect at this point? They did have 2 of their defenders, such as Claire Thompson and Sophie Jakes, finished in the Defender of the Year nominees. But who are they going to protect? All of them are so good. That topic's for another video though. But they are going to have to watch out because they're likely losing to maybe 1 or 2 good players this offseason. Another key factor I'd say was actually the Frost's 4th line and their depth. In both Game 3 and Game 4, the overtime winner was scored by a member of their 4th line, that being Katie Knoll, and the cup-winning goal being Liz Scheppers. If you don't remember, Scheppers was actually responsible for the cup-winning goal last year as well, in Minnesota's 3-0 defeat over Boston in Game 5 of the finals. And here she is again, scoring what seems to be the most important goal of the season. In fact, Scheppers was actually responsible for a turnover in the PHF's final game that resulted in Teresa Vanisheva getting the puck and scoring the winning goal for the Toronto Six to win the final Isabel Cup. Vanisheva was also responsible for the tying goal in this game that even got the game to overtime in the first place. For the playoffs, I definitely didn't know if Minnesota was going to bring back Liz Scheppers or Katie Knoll, given that Knoll wasn't getting a lot of playing time and Scheppers didn't seem to be doing a whole lot. But after what I saw, you have to give them both extensions, Melissa Caruso. Before I talk more about them though, I want to point out that before the winning goal actually happened, Ottawa forward Katerina Mrazova took a big hit into the boards and was shaken up on the play and was slowly heading to the bench, which did result in Minnesota having a temporary 5-on-4 leading to the goal. And Mrazova was also involved in 2 collisions in Game 1, which resulted in her missing Game 2 and 3. The first one was a knee-on-knee collision, which went unpenalized, and also the second was another hit into the boards, which looked like it was a shoulder injury, which she needed to have popped back in place on the bench. Prior to the season resuming after the World Championships, the news actually came out that Mrazova played in the tournament with 2 broken bones and a torn ligament in her wrist. She just seems to have had bad luck with injuries this season, playing in only 14 regular season games. I'll expect news that she's getting off-season surgery this summer. I know that she still has lots of talent, so Vancouver and Seattle, despite the injuries, would you want to take a chance on her if possible? But back to what I was saying about Minnesota's depth. I already talked about Scheppers and Knoll, but even Klara Himlarova helped out as well. During the regular season, I was quite unimpressed with her and continued to think that the team should have drafted Abby Boreen over her. She actually assisted on both overtime winning goals in both Game 3 and 4. She does still have another year left on her contract, and I really hope that this 4th line stays together to next season. They may not have been the most noticeable during the regular season. Katie Knoll didn't even play every single game. Before I end it off, there's still one more fun fact I want to point out, and that's that this is actually Michaela Cava's third straight championship, as she was on the championship team with the Toronto Six in 2023. To me, she's one of the most underrated players in the league that I think is going to be a very hot commodity this offseason. 365 Hockey Girl, if you're watching this, I know you said that you really want her on Seattle, and you also think that she'd be a good fit on Montreal. And to be honest, I agree with both those takes. I will expect that teams like Vancouver and Seattle are going to make a push for her in the exclusive signing window. But I know that Minnesota is also going to want to keep her around as well, as she's fit in super well on that team to me. And plus, who wouldn't want to continue playing for a team that just won back-to-back championships? Anyways though, I hope you all had a great 2024-2025 PWHL season. Be sure to stay tuned for more off-season content. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like, and be sure to also hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any more PWHL content. And also be sure to leave a comment on your favorite part of the season. Get ready, as the teams are about to take a major shift. In the meantime though, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!